Allison for Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, and today, as part of our equipment series, we're gonna do puppy equipment. Well, you know, because obviously I have puppies. So yeah, look out for in the following months for a few segments that are focusing primarily on puppy equipment. We are going to give you all the ins and outs of what you might need before you have a litter, when your litter's first born, and probably up to about 8 weeks of having a litter. Just different things that you may or may not have thought of, and the things that are going to make your puppies flourish and your life just a little bit easier when you have the adorable little gremlins around. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started on our puppy series, I just wanted to mention a few things. First of all, I'm not a veterinarian, right? And I don't play one on the internet. I am not trying to give you medical advice, veterinarian advice, anything like that. What I am here doing is I am giving you things that have worked for me in the past, things that I have found useful that are maybe you haven't heard of before, maybe you have, but just giving you different ideas. Maybe it's 2 o'clock in the morning where you are and you're Googling what to do with, you know, my sick puppy, or is my puppy warm enough, or how do I swaddle it so that I can get an accurate weight on it. That is what we are here for, right? We are here to give you a smattering. This by no means is an exhaustive list or an exhaustive example of any of these stages, but we want to give people that are reputable breeders a place to start, a place to look for, a place to find resources. If you want to have more detailed information, we would love for you to have that too. And we have a full, very detailed course with weights, diagrams, measurements, videos, written synopsis that you can purchase on Leading Edge Dog Show Academy that goes into everything we talk about in our YouTube series in much, much more detail. We are here to help you, to help puppies, to help the reputable breeder out there, and we just want to provide you with some information and maybe a little bit of comfort until things are going absolutely right, or until you are ready to whelp your first litter, or maybe whelp your 100th litter. So I just wanted to give you that little disclaimer before we hop to it. Let's start talking about puppy equipment. So you have decided to breed your bitch, or maybe you're going to breed your bitch, whatever stage you are at. Let me just go through a few things that I do pre having a litter. Well, obviously you have decided that you're going to breed your bitch. You've done whatever genetic testing, etc. You've picked out the stud dog, all of those kind of things. Now, there are different things that you can do to find out if your bitch is pregnant. Obviously, you can do a ultrasound scan. It seems that those have kind of a limited window to when you can really see whether the bitch is pregnant or not. And this is usually a fairly good indicator. A lot of people like to do this because they feel that it's really kind of like low stress, like easy to do. You can go in, see if your bitch is pregnant or not. Now, I have ultrasounded bitches who then did have a singleton puppy that did not show up on the ultrasound. So that's something to be aware of. The other thing that you can do that I personally like to do is about a week before my bitch is due to whelp, so a week before her first due date, I like to get an x-ray. So often an x-ray is going to tell me how many puppies about I am expecting. Rarely have I had an x-ray that is like right on. It's, you know, there's 5 little skeletons showing and there's 5 puppies. Typically there's 1 or 2 more kind of hiding in there or kind of back to back. So something to be aware of. Another thing that you can do is you can order a belly lab pregnancy test for dogs, which is really like kind of cool. They're fairly inexpensive, pretty easy to do. And if I was a breeder that was breeding multiple bitches a year, I would probably have, you know, 4 or 5 of these around, just so that, you know, it was an easy tool for me to figure out if my bitch is pregnant or not. The last litter that I had, we actually did use the Belly Labs test. First of all, it was hard for us to get to an ultrasound, and it actually ended up, it was obvious we could tell our bitch was pregnant, but the other thing, the day that she had her x-ray booked for how many puppies she was going to have a week before the whelp date was a snowstorm here, and everything was shut down for about 3 days, so we never really had the opportunity to do that. But very inobtrusive. It's a cheek swab. You just get a few blood cells from the cheek swab, and in about 30 minutes you can find out all by yourself if your dog is pregnant or not. Yeah, so Belly Labs, you can get that pregnancy test. So then I like to have a whelping box. I like to have that box in a quiet room of my house, so not a room that's near the front door or near like a rec room that's really, really noisy or anything like that. Something that's tucked away, and I can keep that room really warm, because remember, warm puppies are going to thrive. Even if you have a sickly puppy, if you can get it even warmer than is suggested in all the literature, that puppy is going to do just a little bit better. So my whelping box always has what I call a pig rail in it, so that the mother can't squish the puppy between her back and the back of the whelping box. So to me, this is really, really important. One of the only problems that I have with people maybe using like a portable swimming pool, because a lot of people use those little kid wading pools as whelping boxes, or the bottom of a very kennel. The only issue I have with that is not having a pig rail in it. Puppies getting squished between the wall of the whelping box and their mother's back is very, very common, especially with bitches who have had cesarean sections, or bitches that have, this is their first litter. So as a matter of fact, my bitch, often I would go in there and there would be a puppy between her back and the side of the whelping box, but I didn't have to worry about it. I had a big pig rail made out of, some 2.5-inch PVC. Worked absolutely fantastically. Next, you need to have a lot of towels, right? So when you are whelping that litter, you need to have a lot of towels around, because you're obviously drying off those puppies, like getting them moving, getting them going. Having a bulb syringe, which I took off this table actually, is another good thing if you need to like get some mucus out of their nose or out of their mouth. That is usually super, super helpful. You need to have a heat lamp. So the heat lamp, you can get clear ones, which I really liked having a clear heat lamp in the beginning, because I think it was really, really useful to be able to look at the puppies, look at their collar colors. I had black puppies with identifying collars on them, and this helped me tell what color the collars are, because with a red light you can't always do that. Now I would suggest that around the time the puppies are 10 days old, before their eyes start to open, that you switch this to a red light, because then at that point you want the light to just like not be as bright when they start opening their eyes. I like to have a scale to weigh my puppies. So weighing your puppies takes the guesswork out of it. I like a scale that is in grams, unless you have a really giant breed, because often ounces just aren't good enough for weighing your puppies. Weigh them at the same time every day. For puppies that aren't doing well, you can weigh them before and after they nurse to see if they're actually getting milk when they are nursing, because some puppies aren't. So having a scale, notepad and pen, is a great way. You need to mark down, red puppy had weighed this much, etc. at the same time every day, even twice. I don't really do it twice a day unless I have a puppy that isn't thriving. So then, markers. You can buy Velcro collars just about anywhere. You get dog supplies online, etc. And these are a great way to identify how each puppy from each other, especially if you have solid colored puppies like I do. If you have puppies with markings, it's still really easy, because you might know it's the one with the heart-shaped red mark on its head, but somebody else might think that that looks like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, right? Like, you have no control over what people think shapes look like. So these are super useful. I like to cut them to size. I like to usually save the little tails as well and put them in my puppy booklets when I send the puppies home. Make sure as your puppies grow that you are growing with them. You're making the collars bigger and bigger. That's something to remember. Also, pre-whelping, I like to order my vet bed. So vet bedding is absolutely fantastic. It's really thick, it's really warm, and it's one way, right? So I put a nice layer of paper underneath it, and it kind of looks like this. You can get it in different colors and patterns, and it has a backing. And when they pee, the pee just goes straight through the backing, and it's one way, so the puppies stay dry. Obviously, you're changing this out once a day, maybe a little bit older, twice a day. But also make sure that you read the reviews of the places that sell the vet bedding, because some people say it is vet bedding, and it doesn't really have as much of that one-way capability. It's a lot thinner, and I also find this very, very comfortable for the mother. You know, some mothers can lose a lot of weight. You want them to be really, really cushioned while they're nursing those puppies, something that for the puppies to get traction on. And then some of the other things I like to have on hand, we're going to go to this a little bit more in our next video when we look at what we need for our puppies from birth to, you know, for the first couple weeks. But make sure maybe a pregnancy test, your light, your whelping box, your pig rail, your towels, your identifying collars, a scale, and your vet bedding, and you know, you're going to be in pretty good shape to start having that litter. So I hope that helps. Hey everyone, thanks for watching today's video. Please leave us a comment below, let us know what you thought, and as well, if you have any ideas for future content that you'd like to see, you can put them down there as well. You can head over to leadingedgedogshow.academy.com where you can find our free, premium, and subscription content, and we'd love to have you join us there. As well, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. That way you never miss another free video tutorial. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.